Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Rancangan kami menawarkan banyak bahasa. Sila kunjungi suprememastertv.com/gerhadapan schedule.
I had trained in the world's largest medical center at that time for nearly a decade and a half. And I had, access to the best technology there was. But despite that, just applying natural foods to individuals who had advanced health disease, these patients' health conditions turned around in a way I had not seen before.
Continue watching to find out more.
Note to vegan, only courageous people choose it.
Considerate viewers, Wapnin, that's how friends ask each other what's happening in Bermudian English. I'm Lila. The kind people of Bermuda appreciate the visual beauty of the rainbow-coloured fruits and vegetables and pray that you also enjoy an abundance of these beautiful gifts at each meal. Welcome to the first episode of our show entitled Healing Hearts and Lives with Dr. Baxter Montgomery MD, Vegan. A Shining World Hero Award recipient, Dr. Baxter D. Montgomery is a board-certified cardiologist from the United States and founder and director of the Montgomery Heart and Wellness Center. This state-of-the-art medical facility, located in Houston, Texas, is a revelation for healthcare. It provides comprehensive health and wellness interventions that help people suffering from various conditions, including heart disease, diabetes, obesity, and high blood pressure. And part of the treatment involves a minimally processed, whole-food, plant-based diet. Dr. Montgomery decided that he wanted to pursue a medical career when he was only 14 years old. During his many years of study and residency, Dr. Montgomery found different facets of the heart quite fascinating.
I had the opportunity to work in a research lab with a biochemist who was doing work in collaboration with a cardiothoracic surgeon, and they were doing work related to myocardial preservation or preserving heart tissue. And it was a really important issue related to bypass surgery and patients being on pump. And so I was fascinated with the research. And at that time, I was inspired to go into the subspecialty of cardiology even before I finished medical school. And so at that point, I knew I wanted to be a cardiologist. During my internship in internal medicine, I had the opportunity to evaluate patients with special electrical problems. And it was at that time I wanted to even subspecialize in the areas of cardiac electrophysiology. When I was into the path of going down my professional training using, really just kind of a pure desire with, experiences in areas outside of direct exposure to medicine. And so I never looked back after that.
Despite the outstanding education that he was receiving, Dr. Montgomery reflects on how not much of this involved learning about nutrition. Though, in retrospect, he feels that this may have been a blessing in disguise.
We may have had some nutrition, I just don't remember it. So I guess it's probably equivalent to none if it's so little you don't remember. But I often talk to some of my colleagues who are in the plant-based field of practice and science, and often tell me that it was a benefit to me that I didn't, get any nutrition training in medical school because I would have been taught the wrong thing. And so had I learned in medical school what, was thought to be the best nutrition, I would have had to unlearn that. And it might have been harder for me to accept another approach.
Fortunately, times are changing. Recently, the Wayne State University School of Medicine emerged as the first medical school in the USA to provide mandatory plant-based education. this program may be one of the world's first compulsory plant-based nutrition programs for medical students. But there is still a long way to go, and for this reason, Dr. Montgomery's journey of discovering the benefits of the plant-based diet followed a different trajectory, in that he had to seek out the information himself.
And so I would say the first, 7 to 10 years of my practice, I was, strictly in the traditional allopathic cardiology approach to things. However, I started, being exposed to different patients. One patient in particular, I recall, came and he was being treated with lots of supplements. And I was intrigued with that. And I went and met his herbalist and learned a little bit about her approach to treating conditions with herbal medicine. Personally, I had elevated cholesterol. I wanted to, figure out how to control it without taking, prescription medications. I wrote prescriptions. I didn't want to take them. So that led me down a path of reading books and publications and things, mostly in the lay press, not so much in the medical journals, that talked about so-called natural cures and natural approaches to healing patients. And there was a common denominator that I saw with most of these approaches, and that common denominator was, consuming fruits and vegetables. And so I was intrigued with that.
Being motivated by his own health concerns was also a catalyst for Dr. Montgomery to learn more about alternative healing methods.
But there was a one particular event or action, I should say, that led me strictly down the path of using plant-based nutrition is when I took a weekend crash course to get a raw vegan chef certification. Now, I can't tell you now at that time what prompted me to do that. I remember seeing a flyer, and it was a weekend course, and I took it, which I was fascinated with it. But during that weekend course, I learned a lot about plant-based nutrition, raw foods, raw plant foods. I learned a lot about, detoxing and the like, and had gained a number of resources. One of the resources was some name and contact information of a local guru who coached individuals on raw detox diets, and he did coach us on juice feasts. So I met with him, and so I signed up for his course, and I did a 33-day raw juice feast. But my personal experience with that was that I felt like, at the age of maybe 38 or whatever, I felt 18, and I just thought, this is really impressive. I've never seen anything like it. My cholesterol levels went down to normal, and I just felt great.
We turn a blind eye to the pain and torture we put animals through. Sir Lewis Hamilton, vegan.
We're going to pause for a moment to make a delicious green smoothie. When we return, we'll discover what happened when Dr. Montgomery's patients began adopting the nutritious vegan diet. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back, mindful viewers, to our show, Healing Hearts and Lives with Dr. Baxter Montgomery MD, Part 1 of 2. We were eager to learn how Dr. Montgomery's patients fared when they adopted the nutritious plant-based diet he recommends.
And without fail, when I tried them on raw detox diets, smoothies, juices, salads, the health conditions turned around in very short order. It was almost like magic. Now, again, as I said, I had trained in the world's largest medical center at that time for the nearly decade and a half. I had access to the best technology there was. But despite that, just applying natural foods to individuals who had advanced health disease, who were on lots of medication, who had already had advanced surgical procedures like bypass and various other surgical procedures. Despite all of that, these patients' health conditions turned around in a way I had not seen before. And so at that time, after seeing maybe a handful of patients respond, I made it up in my mind that I had to figure out how to integrate this, approach in my practice. Now, it wasn't so obvious at the time, but we started off coaching patients one by one in the office, and it then led to weekend detox classes and the like, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Dr. Montgomery's initiative to benefit the health and lives of so many people has culminated in the Montgomery Heart and Wellness Center located in Houston, Texas, USA. Founded in 2006, this state-of-the-art center, focused on whole plant foods nutrition, is trailblazing the way forward in healthcare. The center assists people with chronic illness and provides research on preventing and reversing them. And that's not all. Dr. Montgomery tells us more about this inspiring healthcare facility.
We now have a nutrition center, restaurant, and grocery store on our center. We have online coaching programs and a nutrition clinic, integrated care clinic, where we integrate optimal nutrition as well as superfood supplements, and we do other modalities such as infrared sonotherapy and the like. But it was a process over time, and I still consider myself going through the journey, because we constantly learn from a patient with more advanced illnesses how best to use or manipulate food to help their bodies heal themselves.
For patients who don't live near the facility, the doctors at the center provide telemedicine so that people worldwide can also benefit from his knowledge and expertise. In addition, wellness coaching and consultations are also offered.
We coach individuals from all over the world, and we can ship certain nutrients to them. We're going to expand in the digital space because we can scale more easily that way. And currently we have started digital expansion with online coaching courses. If people were to go to our website, montgomeryheart.com/journey, we have a community that's also a support community.
We applaud Dr. Montgomery for his dedication to transforming the lives of his patients, wishing ever more success for his revolutionary plant-powered medical center as a magnificent example of the future of healthcare.
For more information on Dr. Baxter Montgomery and Montgomery Heart and Wellness, please visit montgomeryheart.com.
Deny vegan. Long live in hellfire.
Inspiring viewers, it has been a pleasure to have your company for today's show. Please join us next week on Tuesday, September 13th for part 2 of this program. Coming up next is Peace is the Best Victory, part 1 of 5, on Between Master and Disciples, right after Noteworthy News. May all healthcare providers quickly awaken to the vast and superior benefits of the whole food vegan diet.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/VEG